Hello, welcome to our channel and this is the lecture 2 and in this lecture we are going to discuss about growth, reproduction, metabolism. Okay, before we start our lecture you can subscribe to our channel, like, share and comment. Okay, now let us start about our discussion, that is the growth. In the previous lesson we have discussed about the few aspects of the living and non-living things. Those aspects we have discussed a few aspects, and among those aspects, so growth is one. Okay, the growth is one, and reproduction is one, and metabolism is one. Okay, so here we are going to discuss about these few aspects. The first one is the growth. And what is meant by growth? Growth means increase in mass or increase in the number of the cells in the organism. So what is meant by mass or increase in number? For example, if you take the bacteria, this is this much size. So under appropriate conditions like nutrition, temperature and all those appropriate conditions, the size of the bacteria may grow. So this is known as increasing the mass. So, and not only that, these bacteria may divide in the nutrient media. Okay, under the appropriate conditions it may divide. So the one bacterial cell may divide into more than one bacterial cell. So it is also increasing the number. So you can consider it as a growth, and you can consider these also a growth that is increase that is occurred in the organism. If you take the human beings has a certain number of the certain amount of the cells, okay, certain number of the cells and certain weight. So day by day or year by year, the size is going to increase up to certain age. So the child will grow up to 25 years or 30 years of age. So this is known as growth in case of multicellular organisms. So growth in unicellular organisms, that is nothing but increase the size of the cell and duplication of the cell organelles. So cell organelles means inside the bacteria there are some cell organelles, whether it may be nucleus, whether it may be DNA, or whether it may be or some other things. Okay, whatever the organelles or tiny structures that you will see inside the bacterial cell, that is known as cell organelles. Okay, they reproduce by the cell division and increase their number, which can be counted or studied under the microscope. So now let us take the example. This is a petri dish, and inside the petri dish there is a media, and in the media you have inoculated one bacteria. So this bacteria is going to divide. It is going to divide and is going to increase its number. So after the increase of the certain number of the cells in the petri dish, you can count this number of the bacterial cells under the microscope. This is known as counting the number of the microorganisms under the microscope. Okay. So growth in multicellular organisms, they grow by increasing the number of the cells in the body or increasing the mass. So for example, let us see this certain amount of the cells after the birth. So in the newborn baby, let us consider there are some cells. Okay, these cells are going to increase day by day, day by day, day by day, and year by year. So as a result, the weight of the baby increases. Okay, and also the height of the baby also going to increase. So why? Because there is a growth, there is a division of the cells. Okay, and also there is a increasing the number of the cells, and also the cell size may also increase. So that is known as growth in case of the multicellular organisms. The growth of the organisms may stop at certain age. Let us consider it may be around 25 years of age or 30 years of age, depending upon their genetic information. Okay, and in some organisms, the animals, if you take the animals, they have a certain age for the growth. After a certain age, they are going to stop. It means that their growth will get stopped. And in some organisms like plants, if you take the example of the plants are going to grow throughout their life till they die. Okay, this is about the example of the plants in case of continuous growth, and this is the example for the animals where there is a certain stoppage of the growth. Okay, so cell division is a continuous throughout their life to replace the lost cells or dead cells. So the cell division is not only for the growth but also to repair the damaged cells or to replace the dead cells. Let us consider there is a small injury on the hand. So the some cells will get lost or damaged in the hand. So this injury, whatever the injury is there or the wound is there, it has to get repaired by the cell division. The cell division will comes into action and they will heal the area. Okay, this is also main important functions of the cell division. Okay, so now the growth and reproduction is an exclusive event in the living organisms. Now let us take the example of the bacteria. So in the bacteria, the increase of the number of the bacterial cells and also increasing the size of the bacterial cell is also the same thing. Okay, this is known as exclusive event in the living organisms. Okay, and increasing the body mass is not considered as a growth, and the non-living things also grows. So the question is how the non-living things are going to grow. Okay, for example, like if you take the example of the mountains, on the mountains the some dirt materials or whatever substances that will fall on the mountains will get accumulated. So after by the accumulation of the over period of time, the mountains look little bit grown. Okay, that is known as growth in case of non-living things. Not only that boulders, not only that sand molds, they are going to grow by accumulation of the other materials. So not it means not only the living organisms but also non-living things also going to grow. Okay, non-living things and dead organisms do not grow. The growth from the inside cannot be seen. So the mountains can grow by the deposition on the top, but the mountains are not going to grow from the inside. Okay, so the living organisms, the growth is from the inside, hence the growth is not a defining property of the living organisms. Based upon the growth, you cannot say that the growth is the main defining property of the living things. Okay, so now next is the reproduction. This is another aspect in the reproduction. First of all, we have to discuss about what is meant by reproduction. Reproduction means the increasing the population or the increasing or maintaining the race of the particular species. That is known as reproduction. So the reproduction, it is the process of producing the production of the progeny which are more or less similar to those of parents. For example, if you see the child may look a little bit more or less similar to their parents. Why? Because there is a genetic information has came from the parents. Okay, this is known as more or less similar to those of parents, and this is known as reproduction means the production of the progeny. Progeny means the children. Okay, children is known as progeny. So the organisms reproduce by the asexual or asexual process. So first, what is meant by sexual and what is meant by asexual? In the sexual process, it requires two partners, and in the asexual reproduction, there is no need of a partner. It means one single partner is essential for the is one single partner is enough for the reproduction process. Okay. So sexual reproduction, the process of production of the progeny by exchanging genetic material. So who are exchanging? There are two organisms. One is the father and mother. They are going to exchange the genetic material. Fathers are going to produce the spermatozoa and mothers are going to produce ovum. So this is the male gamete, this is the female gamete. So they are going to fuse together to form a single cell that is known as zygote. This is known as zygote. Okay, and the zygote will develop into a baby of by some divisions. Okay, this is known as sexual process. Here you can see there is a formation of the gametes, that is spermatozoa and ovum, and these gametes are going to fuse together to form a single cell known as zygote. Okay, what is meant by fusion? Fusion means two separate cells will fuse together or unite together to form a single cell, that is known as fusion. So the opposite word is fission. What is meant by fission? The single cell is going to divide into two cells. Okay, this is known as fission. Here you can see the gametes and here you can see the bacterial division. Okay, bacterial cell division. One single bacteria may divide into two bacterial cells by a process known as binary fission. The binary fission word, you can see the word fission. Okay, fission means division. Fusion means union or unite. Okay, so through the materials, the exchanging of the genetic material through the formation and fusion of the gametes. Example, human beings, plants, etc. Okay, so we will discuss in the future lessons about the sexual reproduction in flowering plants and so on. It means how the pollination and everything is going to occur. And asexual reproduction, it is the production of the progeny without exchanging of the genetic material. Why exchanging is not necessary? Why? Because the single parent can produce a new offspring. Okay, new offspring or new child. So hence there is no need of another partner for the exchanging of the genetic material. So no fusion and no fusion of the gametes. Example, the spores in case of fungi, budding in case of yeast and hydra, regeneration in case of planarians, and fragmentation in case of fungi, filamentous algae, and protonema of mosses. So these are the organisms. These are the process. These are the process of the asexual reproduction. Okay. So how it is going to occur? This is known as reproduction in asexual process in these organisms. Okay. So next is the non-reproducing organisms. So what is maybe non-reproducing? It means these are the individuals, they are not going to reproduce. It means they are not going to give such a new individuals or new children or new progeny. So that is known as non-reproducing organisms. So here the many organisms are not going to reproduce. So they are known as mules like henny, not only mules, henny and sterile worker bees, infertile human couples and so on. These are the organisms, they are not capable of reproducing, are not capable of giving birth to a child. So hence you can say that they are the non-reproducing organisms. Okay. Hence the reproduction is not all including defining property. Defining property means the characteristics of the living organisms. Based on this statement, you can say that it is a reproduction is a non-inclusive. It is not in all inclusive defining property. Okay. So non-living objects are not capable of reproducing or replication by itself. If you see the sand particle, it is not going to reproduce on its own. Okay, it is not going to do its biological functions and so on. Okay, and next is the metabolism. So this is another aspect we are going to see whether it is present in the whether it is performed by the living organisms or not. Okay, first of all we have to discuss about what is metabolism. Metabolism means it is the conversion and changing of one form of chemical substance to another form through the chemical reactions, that is known as metabolic reactions. So we will discuss with the help of an example. Let us consider you have taken a glucose molecule, you have eaten a glucose molecule. Okay, the glucose molecule enters into your body, get absorbed into the into the blood, and this glucose molecule enters into the cell. Okay, in the cells the glucose molecules will get converted into ATP. Okay, at the end it is going to convert into ATP. It means it is a chemical form, it is a type of the chemical, it is also a type of the chemical, but it is a glucose, it is the ATP. So such kind of conversion of one form of the chemical into another form of the chemical is known as metabolism. Okay, it is known as metabolism. It is going to occur in the living organisms. So hence you can call it as a chemical reactions or metabolic reactions. Okay. So it is a sum of the total of all chemical reactions that occurs in the body, not only in case of glucose molecules, but it occurs in everything, like whether it may be fat, okay, whether it may be vitamins, whether it may be nucleic acids or whatever it may be, it is going to occur in all those things. So hence it is this is known as metabolic reactions. So all living organisms is made up of various classes of the chemicals, sizes, functions, etc. So what is mean the different types of the classes of the chemicals? Whether it may be glucose, okay, whether it may be nucleic acids like DNA or RNA, whether it may be proteins, whether it may be vitamins, whether it may be minerals and so on. These are the different classes of the chemicals. They have certain types. Glucose has certain type of the certain size, nucleic acid has a certain size, proteins has a certain size and so on. Each and every class of the chemicals has certain functions. The glucose molecules is involved in the producing the energy. Nucleic acids, it is going to store the information, genetic information. Proteins, they are going to work in the cell, they are the workhorses of the cell. Vitamins, they are also going to play a major role in the metabolic reactions. Okay, minerals and so on, these all are going to have certain type of the functions. Not only this, there are many functions, etc. Okay, so these chemicals are constantly being changed into another biomolecules or other biomolecules. So for example, if you take the proteins, okay, the plant protein, it will get digested into form into amino acids. These amino acids again are used for the buildup of your own proteins. Your own proteins are human proteins. It means there is a conversion of one form to another form. Okay, it is nothing but one thing is converted into another thing. This is known as metabolism. Okay, this is constantly being changed from one form to another form, or one form of protein to another form of the protein. So this is about it. So all unicellular and multicellular organisms are they are going to exhibit the metabolism, whether it may be bacteria, whether it may be human being or animal. So they all are going to perform these metabolic reactions. Okay, so the metabolic reactions can be demonstrated outside the body. So what is meant by metabolic reactions outside the body? For example, if you see in the body there are cells, the cells has the enzymes. In the cells there are enzymes. These enzymes are going to do some function. So what we are discussing here we are discussing the cell-free system. Cell-free system means there is no cell. We have taken the enzymes out of the cell by destroying the cell. Here we have only the enzymes. We are going to make the reaction outside the cell or outside the body. Okay, that is known as cell-free system. Let us consider this is the enzyme. This is the another chemical known as starch. So in the potatoes you can see the starch. Okay, so this enzyme is known as amylase. Okay, amylase. In your body or in your mouth there is a enzyme known as amylase. So this amylase plus starch, what is going to occur? Okay, it is going to broken down into glucose. Okay, the starch is going to convert it into glucose in the presence of the amylase enzyme. So it is a reaction which is occurring outside the body, that is also in the test tube. That is known as cell-free system. Okay, cell-free system means the enzymatic reactions that is going to occur outside the body, that is in the laboratory or in the test tube, is known as cell-free system. Okay, and next is the cell system is isolated metabolic reactions outside the body of an organism performed in the test tube, is neither living or non-living. Okay, so metabolism is in living organisms is defining property without exception. So without any doubt you can say that this metabolic reaction is a inclusive property of the living organisms. Okay, the defining property of the living organisms. Hence the metabolic reactions in vitro means lab. Okay, vitro, this term refers to the glass. Okay, glass means it is occurring, this can be done inside the laboratory, that is also inside the glassware, whether in a test tube or beaker or anything. Okay, the cell-free system is not living. Even though it is not living, it is a living reaction. So hence it is a living reaction. Hence we can call it as a metabolism is a defining property of the living organisms. Okay, and I hope this lecture is helpful to you, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe our channel. Subscribe. If you subscribe to our channel, it will support us to make more content like this, and you can like, share and also comment. Your comments are more important to us so that we can improve the quality content of the lectures with the help of your comments. Okay, and we will discuss the next topic in the next lesson. Okay.